Yo, what's up YouTube? We're back out here for another Chevelle update. Today is October 31st, 2021. It's Halloween, and it's my Sunday where I'm not doing shit. So I said, you know what? Let's get this video out here. It's been a long time since we did an update on this car, and there's been a bunch of new parts that I've added. So I want to go over that with you guys. Life's a little difficult to get these videos out as much as I'd like, but we're out here today, so let's jump right into it. I kind of fell into a funk with this car for a little bit. Some of you know, most of you don't, but my father actually passed away in May. So between that happening, I had my wedding in June, and then life in between. So I lost a little bit of motivation on this and just was kind of in a mental hole. But you know, after some time's going by a little bit, I have my spark again to really start jumping back at this thing and get this thing done. I'm expecting to have it done and trying to have it done for the summer. So summer 2022. Hopefully this thing will be out there. So she's making way. I just got part of the charge pipe in this morning. We went with the 4-inch. There is a CXY pipe that's coming that comes down from 4-inch to 3-inch, and I just got my couplers for the turbos last night. The lighting's a little shady in here. So it's gonna go 3-inch straight off the turbos into a Y pipe that is a 3-inch to 4-inch. Obviously this is all going to have to get trimmed up and tacked in place so that we can get a nice solid short route system in there. Now last time you saw, we were talking about the intercooler situation, because down here it looks like there's a lot of space, but by the time you get a quality intercooler in there, you're going to be hacking up the radiator support and all that, and I didn't want to go that route. So what I ended up doing was I got the Shear Fabrications water to air. They're the air to water, however you want to say it. I don't mind the Trump sticker. I'm a supporter. If you don't like them, tough shit. So as far as the radiator goes, this is a Speedway Motors aluminum. It is set up like a big block, small block style radiator because I went with the LS3 water pump. So I wanted it to be as short as route as possible. This gets a little close over here, but once it has the 90 AN fitting on it, it's going to bring it right over and straight in. So we had Ricky convert all this over to AN fittings. Let's see on there. Same the water pump, and then we put the for the coolant to come off the steam kit. Let's see if we can see it down there. It's all -4 steel braided. Focus. There we go. Yeah, it's got the Motion Raceworks steam vent kit on all 4 corners of the heads down there. And then it just comes down, and I routed it under the alternator and then up right into there. This is all just mocked up right now, making sure everything's gonna fit. I got the aluminum fan shroud too, so that I'm looking to get a 16-inch fan in there, single fan. I just got to find a really high CFM fan that I know is gonna cool this thing on a hot day. There's no AC or anything, so I'm not too concerned about it idling in traffic or getting hot, but better be safe. But I want to show you guys another look at this intercooler. Look at the quality on this thing. Insane. Definitely get what you pay for. And the quality of the Shear Fabrications is what's up. I also just got the serpentine belt in last night to run the alternator and the water pump. I'll tell you, ICT Billet, they have everything ready to go in stock, ready to ship. We moved the alternator up here, like I said in the last video, but they have every detail you need in terms of belt sizes, amperage, any of that stuff. They'll tell you exactly what it is, exactly what you need, and it works out and goes in flawlessly. That's a 63-inch belt. Got it from a regular parts store. And then the tensioner is right here, so you would just pull this up, tension it, and then lock it in place with the lock nut in the back. This thing has been so nice to work on so far. It's a learning curve. I've never built an LS, and this is, for the most part, pretty self-explanatory, and everything you need is online. Any piece of information, any part, everything. Like, just for starters, I ordered the Holley Terminator X kit, and this is the injector harness. Focus, 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 come on. What the hell? So this is the injector harness for EV6 style injectors, and I'm currently running EV1 style Bosch 120 pound injectors. So ICT Billet actually has the adapters that just snap into these and then plug into here, which those should be in today. So that's good there. We got the map sensor, or I'm sorry, the air intake temp sensor back there. The map sensor's not here yet. Another thing you saw in the last video was my wastegates. So I chose to mount them on these CX elbows, which they came pre-drilled already. So I thought that would work out, but it left me a little short on space down here, and I don't like how close the wastegates sit to the radiator. Right here it's a little tight because I already put the line and everything in. So same thing down here. It really depends on how you clock the turbos, but I like where they are like this, and I don't plan on moving them. So we've marked out on the manifolds. They're going to get some 90s. There's some 45s that are going to bring them up like this, right off the edge, right off the end of the collector. So they'll both sit kind of up, just like this. That'll be the next thing that we do, is I got to pull these manifolds back off. I'm going to finish wiring the car and everything first before we do that. But let's get into the Holley kit, so I want to talk about that. This thing is sweet. So first things you'll notice is this mount right here. I actually just ordered this. I found a guy on Instagram. Let me show you his. Look at this mess. Look at this mess here. There's just shit everywhere. Fission Speed and Engineering. This dude is the man. He had these. He has the a 3D printer set up, and he was designing these Terminator X 3.5-inch screen mounts. So I had noticed he had one just like this that was set up in a Mustang, and for the room that I have, I didn't want too many gauges in the car. I like that everything is mostly retained through the Holley, but I did want a mechanical boost gauge and RPM gauge just because that's what I'm used to. But he had this printed and made, and this was out to me within like 24 hours. Printed into the door. It was almost overnight. So there's the Holley Terminator X and the Fission Speed Engineering mount that goes on the steering column. I got a Autometer 3 3/8 RPM gauge, and then I have your regular 52mm boost gauge. Both Pro Comp ultralights, old school. I love it. And here we have the Terminator X ECU. So we got to get this mounted up in the car somewhere nice. I'm going to do it probably under the glove box. And then we just got to run the wires, the two harnesses, and then a vacuum line into the car. So that'll be going in next. Like I was telling you guys before, they made all of this plug and play, minus that I selected the wrong injector clip, but that's on me. But everything's already labeled. You know, your grounds are labeled. Let's see what else they got down here. So one problem I ran into with this is this is your TPS. Why is this camera not focusing today? TPS wires. This is it for a fuel pressure. So I'm actually ordering a fuel pressure sender that's gonna tap right into my regulator, and then that will send the Holley accurate readings to help with the self-tuning. And then you have your coolant temp sensor that runs right down on the side. But the issue that I ran into is these are a little short now due to the high rim with the intercooler. So luckily, Michigan Motorsports, they sell the extension kits. You just plug them right in, and then those will plug. Sorry about that. The battery died, of course. But yeah, so the TPS and the IAC, Michigan Motorsports sells the extensions. So those are currently on the way. I'll update when those get here. Just for a few things for the coolant temp sensor, the IAC, and the throttle position. But other than that, everything else was good. And then we just need to get the adapters on for the injectors. So that pretty much covers where we're at up here so far. And let's move to the inside of the car. So in my last video about the shifter, you saw that I got the TCI Outlaw. Thing is sick. I just started getting this fabricated up inside. I'm getting it mounted to the floor. I ran the cable and got the cable and everything set up. I didn't hook it to the transmission yet. But I ordered, oh, I'm stuck in here. I ordered a stand that's a 5-inch mount from Justin Sheldon on eBay. But he custom fabricates these mounts out of sheet metal, so you can, you know, bring up the shifter higher or lower, or however you want to mount it. It just gives you a base to mount it on. So I went with the 5-inch mount, and then after I had just tested it in here, I liked the way that it looks, but I said, I wonder if this will fit under the stock center console. And of course, it did. It left me with just enough room where this protrudes up through, and then I can put the finishing covers back on it once I get everything all tightened down. And then the cover will go back on here. Let's get that set up. And then you'll have the factory center console with the Outlaw shifter mounted. So I like the look of that a lot better. I do like the OEM stuff a lot. It's all, you know, old school and ratty, but I don't know. It means something to me, so I think it looks cool to keep it all retained. But yeah, so this is 50% mounted up right now. I got to finish mounting the back down. I only have bolts in the front holding it together at the moment, just so I can get a feel of where everything's gonna sit. And then yeah, thing's rowdy. So yeah, we're gonna keep the center console in there and keep that mounted. That shit looks so good in there. Look at that. I should not even put that cover back on. It just looks sick like that. Now, what kind of YouTuber video update, you know, would I be to not show you guys how the Holley fits in here with this column mount? So let's spin this camera around. I just brought it in here so you can see. Hang on. Look at this. Nasty. Keeps everything out plain view. Isn't that cool? You see the intake manifold and the turbos from behind the steering wheel. Dope. I love it. And this thing just mounts super simple. It uses a like a hose clamp style that you would just feed. Let me get it out of there. That you would just feed through the bottom here, and then it would clamp, boom, right down onto the column. So that will be next. But that's it, guys. We're moving. We are moving right along here. So as long as I can keep the motivation up, we'll be making some big moves. Got to get through the holidays first, and then we can get the rest of the odds and ends. That's the most expensive part, it feels like, of this whole build, is once you lay everything out and you look at it all and you say, okay, this is what I need, this, and this, all the big shit. And then you sit down, you start calculating all the little odds and ends and everything. All the fittings, all the bolts, all that stuff. It's like the hoses, the lines, everything. That's the thing that adds up fast, and it gets there real quick. So I need to order all of that this week. I'm going to do all the AN lines and hoses from Motion Raceworks, get the coolant line set up. And then we got to run the oil lines for the turbo. It'll be -10 returns and then -4 feeds. So once again, odds and ends, lines and fittings that are just going to skyrocket the price in that shopping cart. But it is what it is. And one last thing we got here, still haven't even opened it yet. I got a brand new A-body fuel tank, so we're not going to be playing around with any of this old, let's go see what it looks like. The old original tank to this car. Oh, it's a little dark under here, you can't see, but it doesn't look like it's in bad shape. But this is an entirely new fuel system that we're building, and I'm not about to risk sucking up some shit, some dirt, rust, whatever out of that old tank. So we have a new 17-gallon tank here. Got this from Summit. It's all nice and powder coated and clean. And then we have a Moroso sump kit. So I had debated running the fuel cell for a little bit, and I ended up changing my mind because I didn't want to deal with having to put in a firewall behind the back seat, because that would have just opened up a whole nother situation right now, and I'm just trying to get the car running. So we're gonna sump this tank, courtesy of Motion Raceworks, coming through with the useful information so that we're not out here buying shit that we don't need. So Moroso sump, brand new tank, and then got a brand new level sender. So I will have a working gas gauge again. Definitely going to want to know how much gas you're using with this before it leaves your ass somewhere and you're walking home. So that's almost the rest of it. Fuel pump needs to be ordered. I'm going to go with the MagnaFlow 4303, I think is the part number for it. It's a 750 liter per hour pump. It'll more than handle what we're going to do with this. This is going to run mostly on pump gas anyway, so, but it'll be a nice external pump, some inline filters, and then return setup right off the regulator back to the tank. So that will be getting welded up next. We'll have to get that in the car sometime soon before it gets cold, because look at this. This car is so big in my garage that it look at, there's just enough space for me to stand and work up here, but back here, look at that. Oof. Nothing. So my ass will be laying down under there with the door open while it's snowing, trying to set that tank up. So I might just wait till the springtime to actually put it up there, and I'll just get the fuel system and everything figured out through the winter months. But that's that. Also, got some brand new tank straps. So everything is going to be fresh. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Now I did go pick this up too. I'm a very beginner skilled welder here. So it is all brand new. So it came with a spool gun, and it did come with the tank and the cart and everything. So I got to go get some argon in there, and that's what I'm going to use to start playing with this. So it'll be a learning curve. I'm going to just get it tacked up and try and get the piping and everything tacked in place, and then possibly move on to the up pipes for the turbos if Ricky doesn't just make them for me. We'll see. I would like to learn, that way I can do more things here and not have to rely on people fabricating and, you know, all that. It's nice to just do stuff at home. So we'll see what happens. So I think that's going to do it for now, guys. Gotta go get ready to dress up for Halloween and hand out some candy to these little shits that are going to be coming around later. But yeah, so I try to keep you guys posted on this, and as these videos take a little bit of time in between to put out, it's hard to remember everything that happens in the meantime, so bear with me. There's a lot that happened behind the scenes. I tried to tell you as much as I could just off the top of my head. But I'll try and keep them coming more frequently. That way we don't have to play catch up on all this. So once again, we're getting there. Needs a fuel pump. Finish the wiring, do the piping fabrication, and then we'll get into running the water box and the water pump and the lines to the trunk for the intercooler and all that soon. That's a whole nother situation. So for now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends. I tried to make it a little short so it doesn't get too boring, but it's a lot to fit in. But once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for the comments. Drop me a comment if you want to see something else on this, or if you have any questions on what I did so far. And we will make another video soon. See you later, guys. Happy Halloween.